time listening to 92.3 Nigerian Info. 12 minutes gone past the hour of 5. It's time for us to push the conversation a notch higher. But before we do, I would reintroduce myself. I am Kalada Korubatubor, and this is Hard Facts, a conversation or a show where we have conversations for development. We look at social issues, economic issues, political issues most of the time, I should say. And yes, we ensure that the society is better off at the time we are done talking, or by the time we are done talking. It's a pleasure having you. You can follow me on social media. I'm usually up and about, but yeah, once in a while I get on there, to also push the conversation for development. Dekalada, THEKALADA. Or better still, you could watch the show live on Facebook, Nigeria Info PH, on YouTube, Nigeria Info PH, and on X. We are active and interactive, so we have a post on X. What I mean by active and interactive, we have a post on X, and so you post, or rather you comment on it, and I read your comment, right? It's good to have you. It's good to have you. All right, what do I want to talk about this moment? I want to talk about the refineries. I want to talk about oil and gas in Nigeria. I mean, on several occasions, I think sometime in January this year, sometime in, if I remember vividly, sometime in June, July last year, I broke down how much we have spent in terms of refurbishing, or is it rehabilitating, the refineries in the country. And this runs into billions of dollars. You go as far back as Abacha in 1996, Obasanjo in his time as president, 1999 to 2003. We saw the refineries. I think there was the attempt to sell them. Yaradua said no. Yaradua refused to sell the refinery, or was it even sold and it was taken back by Yaradua? And then Good Luck came in, spent some more money. Then by 2017, the refineries crashed and never got back up. Up until today, by the way, since 2017, the refineries have not refined a liter of petroleum products. None. And maybe it has been, I don't know, but officially we've been told that since 2017 the refineries have not worked. And guess what? Buhari came, that was Buhari's time, right? Buhari pumped in money into the refinery as well, more money than I can even mention, and still yet the refineries did not work for 8 years of since 2017. So let's say for 6 years of Buhari's administration, the refinery did not work. And promises. Timmy Priscilla, who was Minister for State Petroleum Resources at the time, promised that December of 2019 the refineries will work. And then it was postponed to December of 2020. But then there was COVID, and so it was postponed. I think we didn't talk about refinery again. And then they told us, I think we did. Did we? I think it was then 2022. And then they told us 2023, before Buhari's administration expired, we would have been using the refinery. That was one of the reasons the president then, which was of course Muhammadu Buhari, did not remove subsidy on petrol or on fuel, because Labour argued at the time, you've promised the refineries would work, you've said December, about 3 or 4 Decembers, so why don't you get the refineries working first, and let's see how it goes from there. But you see, the refineries, it looks like, has defied every attempt to resurrect. I'm talking about Kaduna, I'm talking about Warri, and I'm talking about the 2 refineries in River State, the old and new Port Harcourt refineries. Okay. And you know, being one of the persons who want development in Nigeria, I kept arguing the refineries would work. What if it works? What if it works? Hopefully, when I was very hopeful, and I was very hopeful, because when it was stated mechanically complete, I was looking forward to the Port Harcourt old refinery refining petrol for you and I, so we can use. It was going to help. It may not have solved the problem, because it would have just been what, 10, 15, 20% of our monthly or daily consumption. That's what it would have solved. But it would have been something, and from my calculations, it would have helped those in the south, or maybe those in the southeast, to reduce, the price of petrol. And then it would have lessened the burden and given the government ample time, to fix and finish the Warri Refinery. Remember, they've made a promise, or they did make the promise, that Warri Refinery will start in the second quarter of 2024, sometime June. June has ended, July has started. We're still waiting, we're still hoping, we're still praying. We pray a lot in the country, right? Now, if the refineries, all three, all four, I like to call them four because we've got old and new in Port Harcourt or in River State. If we had the four refineries working, do you know what it would have done for us? It would have meant cheaper petrol, which would have meant, cheaper transportation, which would have possibly also meant cheaper prices of food commodities in the marketplace, which would have also translated to a lot of Nigerians able to afford running their generating sets. And so there will be, proper lights, electricity supplied in their various homes, because of course we don't want to talk about our epileptic power situation in the country. We don't want to talk about that one. So it would have helped with some basic necessities. Once again, transportation, cost of food items. It would have also helped with electricity supply, and it would have just been great living experience in the country. I mean, it wouldn't have been the best. It would have been far from the best, because we need other items, to make it a very fantastic experience. But it would have been a great experience nonetheless. However, that has not worked. And that's why every time I hear Labour arguing minimum wage, I always have my reservations. And I've always said, why are they not demanding for the refineries to work? Is it that they know what we don't know? Is it that the refineries are, too broken to come up back on stream? Could that be the case? Because why are we having promises upon promises upon promises, and yet nothing seemingly is working as it relates to the refineries? But now that I have put out that very long introduction, the reason why I'm bringing up the refinery yet again is because the Daily Post yesterday reported that Warri, Port Harcourt, Kaduna refineries will begin operations by December, and that's from Senator Ipin Sagba. Oh my. Now, he is the vice chairman of the committee, the downstream committee for the Nigerian Senate. Now, Senator Jide Ipin Sagba, who is the representative of Ondo North Senatorial District, said the retrofitting of the Kaduna, Warri, and Port Harcourt refineries was already at the completion stage. He also stated he said something about the Dangote refinery, but my focus is on the Port Harcourt. So I'm going to quote him. He said, effort is on top gear to ensure that all the refineries are functioning before the end of this year. We have done oversight of all the refineries, and we have good promises, emphasis in that, good promises from them based on what we saw. Port Harcourt refinery today has about 90 to 95% of optimization in terms of retrofitting. Warri is about 80%, and Kaduna is almost about 70%. All right, so you see, I think the last time they told us it was also about 90 to 95% for Port Harcourt refinery. Are we going to ever see this refinery work? Very good question, right? The reason why I'm asking that question is because if you look at the Punch newspaper online on your phone, if you have got an internet enabled phone, you would see the caption. You would realize oil companies patronize illegal refineries. Tantita security alleges. Remember, I told you I went to a community yesterday. I also went somewhere today too. I've been going communal visiting. I'm going to see what is and what is not at diverse communities. And I told you how I could smell crude or oil or something that relates to illegal bunkering. And now today, Tantita has come out to say oil bunkering cannot stop and will not stop because the oil companies, the IOCs, big corporations are the ones who patronize the illegal refining. So let's now look at a bit of what is on the Punch newspaper before we go in for our first commercial. Why is there no scarcity of diesel while there is scarcity of PMS? The story is simple. Most of the diesel you buy is produced by the communities. He did not say the boys, he said the communities. About 90% of the diesel in the fuel stations is produced by the communities. It will also interest you to know that even the oil companies patronize the local communities. Don't let anybody deceive you. The oil companies, they also patronize the local communities. He insisted that if not for the interventions of security agencies such as his firm, the production of diesel illegally would continue to increase. He said the reason why the price of diesel is high today is because of the works of private security companies like my company, Tantita Security Services. This is because we have been able to somehow cut down on a lot of the businesses of the illegal refineries. This is why you see the cost of diesel going up, he stated. Okay. So, I've got a commercial. I'm wondering if I should say what is on my mind or when I do come back. So when I do come back from the commercial, I will just reel out what I think. I mean, could it be the communities are also part of the cartel, the strong men that would never want that sector to work? Could it be that the oil bunkers would also, not let that sector work? But we've got a commercial. When we do come back, I get your thoughts. Just stay tuned. Now let's take a look at the headline news. Riverside local government election date sparks more reactions. Flash floods across Port Harcourt after heavy downpour today. Non-teaching staff of Nigerian universities threaten to begin strike. 5 girls trafficked to Cote d'Ivoire for prostitution rescued. House of Representatives to investigate twin suicide bombing in Borno State. On the foreign scene, dozens killed at religious event in India. Details in the 6 p.m. bulletin. To reach the news team, send your SMS or WhatsApp messages to 0808-721-7215. I am Kaladako Rubatibo. Conversations on Hard Facts continues to stay tuned.
And now, Hard Facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, welcome. We've got 27 minutes to the top of the hour. I'm just going to go straight to the phone lines. I'm going to get your thoughts. I'm asking a very simple question. Oh my! With all of these things happening, I mean, communities have now involved themselves in the illegal activities as it relates to refining of petroleum products. And would we ever see? I mean, everybody's shouting, "Oh, government, fix refinery! Why have you not fixed refinery?" But look at all of the things that are happening. Even oil companies are patronizing the result of illegal bunkering, according to Tantita, of course. I mean, it was a stakeholders meeting and they were speaking. Of course, Tantita, I remember, is a security outfit employed by the government to protect pipelines and certain oil facilities. And if we can say that, if they can say that, oil companies, big companies, corporate institutions are patronizing and buying diesel from these, illegal refining, then where is the hope that our refineries will work? Yet again, another person, another senator, as a matter of fact, the downstream committee of the Nigerian Senate vice chairman has come out to say December. How do we say it in our local parlance? No worry, no go past December. Something like that. And they're saying it will not, past December. Have we heard that before? Have we been told that before? Are we ever going to see the refineries work? And why is Labour not pushing for this? Why are we not demanding? Is this not our right? Is it not our right? Is this also a show of poor priority of policies by government at the national level? I mean, we're building a coastal road. Could that money have been used to fix the refineries and even add 2 more? Think about it. Could that money have been used? We've asked the question. Could we have used that money to build or to fix the east-west road, which of course still the same, Calabar to Lagos route, right? Could we fix the east-west road? People like JJ said it is shorter time of travel. Anyways, let's get your thoughts. 08179230002, 08179230003, 08179230007. WhatsApp number 0809030616. I take the numbers again. 08179230002, 08179230003, 08179230007. WhatsApp number 08090306416. All right, your thoughts and let's get talking. I've got Obed, and Obed is calling me from somewhere in Port Harcourt. I know he's never in one place. Obed, good to hear from you. Welcome. What is on your mind?
Yeah, so I'm not always in one place, Canada.
Okay, let's get
Canada,
it.
but let me honestly, this law they talk about, honestly, the thing is actually causing havoc everywhere. Everywhere is blocked right now. Everywhere.
All right.
Everywhere is blocked.
But that's not my conversation. All right, thank you very much, but that's not my conversation.
No, but let me on the issue of the refinery, Canada. You within yourself, just think about it. Who is the Minister of Petroleum? And do you know how much these guys they collect from all these landing costs, inflating the cost of importations of this fuel that we use? So why will you think that refinery is going to work? It's not going to work. It's not possible. Now, aside that, Canada, many politicians have tank farms scattered all over the country. So if our refinery come on stream, will that tank farm be useful again? It will definitely not going to be useful. So it will be impossible. I'm not saying it's Canada, honestly. Because if you look at right from Ibe Kachuku, a certain December, and it's always on December time. They will always tell you that refinery will come on stream on December time. But it's unfortunate. Nigeria is the only country among the oil-producing nations that doesn't have a working refinery. How do you think about that? So I think until Nigerians take our destiny in our hands, just like Kenyans, when they took to the street to protest against a certain tax law that were about to be put to law by President William Ruto, and the man succumbed and withhold that tax law. So that is the only way. Nigeria must not keep quiet. Nigeria must stand their ground to be able to demand that our refinery come on stream. Because if we are beckoning on these politicians, Canada, it will be forever. Let me stop here. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Obed. I've got Muriel from Okrika. Muriel, welcome.
Thank you, Kennedy. Kennedy, when what is needed is not available, then what is available, becomes submerged. You just becomes what is needed, even if it's low quality, low standard. As long as it's what is available, what do? We use it. KDB, I think we should add a criminal charge so politicians that will just come out and tell us one thing and tomorrow it doesn't materialize and they can just walk away. Honestly, this is getting too much. This promising, one person will come and say December, the next one will come and say July, just like that. And they know they can just get away with it. They can just say anything. I think there should be a criminal charge with. Look at it. What I think is playing out is that federal government cannot even buy what Nigerians can consume. They can't afford it. Yeah, they cannot afford what we can consume. They say they are still importing, and yet what they are importing is less than what we need, what Nigerians need, what the average Nigerian can consume, what Nigerians can consume. They cannot import it. They don't have the resources to do that. And they can't produce. So you see the kind of dilemma. You see how we are trying. Everybody needs fuel. Except the woman that is selling oranges at the junction. She's the one maybe that might not need. She even needs it, Maybe a neighbor puts on a generator and she's sharing it. I think she sells tonight. So virtually every business you do, everything you want to do, you must add the cost of petrol because you need petrol. Everybody needs it. So that's why that's what is just playing out. So you don't blame the companies that are buying from folks that are buying the fires or the line. You don't blame them because everybody, even the kerosene is even the worst because federal government we are in fact kerosene is nowhere to be found, and yet it is so needed. You see, diesel, petrol, we need all those things. Federal government cannot afford to import. That's why we make use of. In fact, these fire guys have become even the most important people to us now. If you go to the rural communities, KDB, they are the ones that are sustaining them, honestly. Without them, the average woman cannot even light firewood because in this kerosene to light a firewood.
All right,
in the rural areas, it is they use kerosene, stoves. Most of them, majority of them don't use gas. So they use this stove fire. In fact, that's what is sustaining Nigerians, this stove fire. So this one that they are saying they want to arrest, they want to do, they want to stop down, they cannot do it. It's almost impossible.
All right, thank you, Muriel. Muriel, I've got to go. I've got Daniel, Chinke Daniel from Imogate. Chinke Daniel, welcome.
Good evening, my brother Kalada.
Yeah, welcome.
Man of the people.
I greet you.
Chinke Daniel Imogate Ozuako in Abia State.
All right.
My brother, you see discussing about what is happening in our country, Nigeria, attending refinery, this, all of that. You can imagine how can a common man survive without ordinary kerosene to use for stove? Then you see this that is for gas for cooking. How many can afford it? One day, now how much is it sold? And do you know, Kalada, my brother, one other thing is that I used to think that to refine this crude oil, that it takes a lot until I have to see, you know, where I am talking to you now is very close to River State. You share common boundary with the Igbo. So I have to go to your state, River State, to see small boys of about 7 to 12 years. They use cans, this for feeding children. They use straw. They put this oil, that is the crude oil. Heat it with fire. You see kerosene and gas coming out. Then what does it take a country like Nigeria? Like I always say, we always live in pretense. I know you are, as a journalist, you are working at the ethics of your profession. But at least at times, you people should help us. Tell us that these people are deceiving us. They know what they are doing.
All right.
That you said, refining oil is not a big thing. Just heat up the crude oil, you see, put on small pipes, you see everything coming out. I used to think they use chemical, no chemical.
Sometimes they do. But thank you, Daniel. Daniel, I've got to go. My time is up. I've got Elliot from Bielsa. Elliot, please quickly, straight to the point.
Good evening.
Yeah,
Good evening.
You're welcome.
Yes, the program almost. And I want to show the line of the Taubed. Not said before. Right.
Oh, sorry, Elliot. Sorry, the line is breaking, so I can hear you. Well, Influence says there are only 2 countries in Africa that do not import refined petrol, namely Libya and Algeria. Other top crude oil producing countries like Angola, Egypt, Congo, Gabon, etc. all still import refined petrol. Please do not allow your callers to use your platform to misinform the public. Influence from Port Harcourt. All right. This one says. Okay, I don't think I can read your message. I do not have much time. But Michael from Aba, I do see your message. You're talking about we being cursed to be a consuming nation to the advantage of foreign partners. But I've got to go. There is a commercial break. And after that, the major news.